Lydia was in the dinner hall. She was with her best friend, Celeste, for breakfast. Today the girls had a day off from their classes, so they have planned to spend the whole day together. "I'm so excited for our day together, Celeste," Lydia said as she sat down with breakfast on her plate. "I am too, Lydia. It had been a long time since we did anything together," Celeste replied as she sat down beside Lydia. "This is going to be so much fun, Celeste. Us doing girl time is awesome," Lydia said, as Zach then joined in the table with the girls. "Hey girls," Zach said as he sat down to eat breakfast. "What are you two up to today?" Zach asked. "We're going to have a girl day today. Celeste and I are going to spend the whole day together," Lydia explained. "We're going to do lots of stuff today," Celeste added, "and we're also going to hang out by the garden." "The garden is what we're going to do first, and to plan our whole day out," Lydia replied. "Sounds fun, girls. I have classes today, which sucks," Zach said, "but you girls can have your girl day today." "Maybe you can hang out with us another time, Zach," Lydia suggested. "I will, Lydia. Hopefully," Zach replied. After breakfast, Lydia and Celeste were both at the garden watch. They were planning on how their day would go, and they had lots of ideas, but the girls couldn't decide on what to do first. "I'm thinking we should go for a walk in the forest," Celeste suggested. "Well, that sounds like a good idea, and I think we should both head to the library. We could use some books for some studying," Lydia suggested. "That's a good idea. I think we have a test in the observatory coming up next week," Celeste replied. "Some books won't hurt to borrow. And I also think we should go see if Mustavio has any deliveries for us," Lydia said. "Sounds good. And how about then we go on an adventure?" Celeste suggested. "I like that idea, Celeste. Let's do it," Lydia said. As the girls went to the secret library in the upper section of the academy, they saw that it was quiet but that there weren't very many students in the library. "Now let's see. Why not we look at the science section for books?" Celeste said as she and Lydia headed towards the science section. They found a few books that would be useful. "Take a look at this book, Celeste," Lydia pointed out as she took out one of the books she was talking about. "This book is about maps, and they're all about Dragonvale." "Is that in the history section?" Celeste asked. "Yes, it is, and I think I found the map that leads to treasure," Lydia replied. She opened up the book to see a treasure map. "This one looks like Dragonvale." "In fact, Lydia, it's a map of what Dragonvale was like 300 years ago," Celeste said. Then she saw a cave with the mark X on it. "That must be where the treasure is. I wonder if it's still there." "It might be, Celeste. We'll have to go there and find out," Lydia said. The girls then headed to Celeste's room to plan for their adventure. "So we'll go see Mustavio for delivery first," Celeste began, as she began to explain the plan. "And if he does have deliveries to make, and we'll be heading out towards the path that leads to the rainforest and the forest, and then we'll soon find a cave. It'll be a new adventure for us." "I've always wanted to go treasure hunting. This will be our chance, Celeste," Lydia said happily. "Why don't we go get our lanterns and then head down there?" Celeste replied. She and Lydia then went to the storage cabin at the lower section of the school. They got the lanterns for the cave, and they were prepared to go. "Are you sure is it safe?" Lydia asked nervously. "What if it's dangerous?" "Don't be scared, Lydia. The danger is what makes the adventure interesting," Celeste replied. "As long as we're together, we won't be apart." Celeste and Lydia then walked out of the school together. The girls were excited to go on an adventure. They were walking to the forest when they saw Mustavio. "Greetings, Miss Lydia, and greetings to you, Miss Celeste," Mustavio said, saying hello to his friends. "Hello, Mustavio. Me and Lydia are going on an adventure today," Celeste explained. "We found an old map of the history books, and it leads to a cave. And it says to have a treasure inside the cave," Lydia added. "How wonderful! You two are going on an adventure," Mustavio replied. Then he picked up the package and postcard. "Package and postcard for Miss Lydia," Mustavio added as he handed Lydia her package and postcard. "Thanks, Mustavio," Lydia said. She took the postcard to look at first. "Who's the postcard from?" Celeste asked. "It's from my cousin Lila," Lydia explained. "You never told me about Lila," Celeste said. "She's my cousin from my father's side. We didn't see each other much when we got older, but she still sends me stuff, and she travels around the world," Lydia explained. She then began to read the postcard. It says, "Dear Lydia, I've been writing to you on how things were going with me. I heard from your parents that you moved to Dragonvale Academy to learn about magic. I sure hope that you're doing well there. Just want to send you something while I was on my travels. I came across a cave while exploring. It was very interesting and I've never been there before. So I decided to give it a try. And it was fun exploring the cave. So I'm sending you something to keep all your postcards when you get from me. Love you like crazy. Love, Lila. Lydia finished reading the postcard. I wonder what she sent you, Celeste asked as she handed the package to Lydia, and Lydia then opened the package. What's this? It's a book, Celeste. But it's just not any book, Lydia continued. It's a scrapbook, a place to put postcards in it and memories as well. This is such a great gift. She did send a great present, Lydia. You'll have to write to her to thank her, Celeste replied. Will do, Celeste. Now let's go find this cave. Lydia pulled out the map and unfolded. So it says we have to go through the path that is past Alvandar's glade. Well, Lydia, should we both head there? Celeste asked. Yes, and then there is some terrain we'll have to go through, Lydia added. So let's head out, Lydia said as she and Celeste began to cross the tree bridge to get to the other side. See you later, girls, Mustavio waved to them. See ya, Mustavio, Celeste replied. The girls were walking on more in the dirt path. They came up to Alvandar, who saw the girls walking. Celeste, Lydia, what brings you girls here today? Alvandar asked. We're on an adventure today, Alvandar. We found a map that leads to a cave, Lydia replied. She showed Alvandar the map. Oh, how wonderful. You girls are treasure hunters, Alvandar said. We sure are, and I sure hope we find something cool, Celeste replied. We found a map in one of the history books we borrowed. I sure hope you find what you're both looking for, Alvandar said. Sure, we hope so. See you later, Alvandar, Lydia said as she and Celeste were off down the dirt path. They then looked down at the path in the glade, and then they were in the distance. They can see some rocky terrain. I see some rocky terrain, Lydia, so it looks like a path leads upwards, Celeste said, seeing the path leading upwards towards the mountains. It looks like it goes up a mountain, and that's what the map says, Lydia began before turning to Celeste. Should we go up? Hell yeah, let's go up there, Celeste replied as she and Lydia walked up to the path of the rocky terrain. The further the girls walked up, the harder the path got. Celeste looked down. She could see the forest and the academy from up in the mountains. Look, Lydia, we can see everything from up here, Celeste pointed out. You're right, Celeste. It's nice being up here, Lydia replied. The map says there's a cave somewhere up here. I do see something on this path. I wonder if it's the cave that we're looking for. Celeste wondered as she and Lydia walked up the path. As soon as they walked up to the path, Celeste could see a cave in the distance. I see a cave up ahead, Celeste pointed at the cave. Once the girls got close, they checked on the map. This cave is up ahead. That's what the map says, Lydia nodded. So the girls got out of the entrance of the cave, and it was really dark inside. So Lydia and Celeste lit their lanterns and began to explore the cave. It's so wet in here, and it's like nobody's home, Celeste said, unless it was a dragon's cave. I don't see a dragon, Celeste. It looks like this is an old cave, Lydia replied. The further the girls explored inside the cave, the more cold and wet the cave became, and the temperature was getting lower. It's cold in here, Celeste shivered as she and Lydia found something in the distance. It looked like a chest. Hey, this looks like a chest. This could be because it is, Celeste. It looks like there might be treasure inside. Lydia and Celeste opened the chest, and they can see a lot of jewelry and coins inside. Well, Celeste, look at this. We found the treasure in this cave. It's so amazing, Celeste said in surprise. But what should we do with it? If we cache the jewelry in it, it might be worth more, Lydia replied with a suggestion. But having all this money and being rich is great. So Lydia then trailed off. What's the wrong, Lydia? Celeste asked. You sounded disappointed. I'm fine, Celeste. Nothing's wrong, Lydia replied. It's just having all this money might make us greedy, and that's not who we are. Keeping this to ourselves would be greedy. I have an idea, Celeste said. We can cash this in, and the school can use the money to do whatever they want. That way everyone will get money. Why, Celeste? Lydia started liking Celeste's idea. That's a wonderful idea. Let's head to the village and cash this in, and then we'll give this money to the school. I love the idea, and I have always put others before myself, Celeste replied. Then when she and Lydia took the chest and walked into the village nearby the school, they cashed everything in at the bank. Once that was done, Nathaniel was at the entrance hall. He could see the girls returning to the school with a horse cart and full of money in the bags. Celeste, Lydia, where have you girls been? Nathaniel asked as his owl sat on his shoulder. My owl has been searching for you girls everywhere. We were on an adventure, Father, Celeste replied. We found a map in one of the history books in the library, and we used this map and led us to find this treasure, Lydia added. So we cashed it in the bank in the village, and we decided to share the money with everyone. How thoughtful of you girls. Everyone is going to be so happy, Nathaniel replied. Lydia and Celeste shared their money that they have cashed in with the school and told Zach about their adventure to find the chest. It was fun, but it was one of the best adventures that Lydia and Celeste had this far.